Hello everybody, welcome to another medication management lesson. Today will be lesson 8. 大家好，欢迎回到一个药物管理的课程。今天呢是课程8。Okay, so I'm gonna give you some tips for organizing your medication. Okay, so this lesson will be just mainly talking about some tips on how to organize your medication so it's tidy and orderly. 所以我们今天的主要内容是要讲整理药物的一些提示。Okay, the objective is so the members will be able to organize the medication independently. Okay, 所以我们今天的主要目的是，信仰成员可以独立组织他们自己的药物。But before we begin, let's think about why is it so important to organize your medication in the first place. 所以我们开始之前，我们想一下，为什么药物管理那么重要呢？Okay, so the reason is because we want to ensure that your medicine is taken timely and safely. Because like skipping or taking our medication late could result in less effective treatment. So timing is important because if you don't do it like in a regular timing or like based on what the doctor or pharmacist told you to, then your treatment could be less effective. And another reason would be to prevent mistakes and confusion, which would compromise your safety. This is especially important for individuals that take multiple types of medication a day, because like they have different types of medication, the dosage, the amount too many might mix up, and then you might take the wrong dosage, which first would cause like your treatment to be less effective, and another would be more concerning, would be that your health might be affected in a negative way. 所以药物管理的重要性是因为我们要确保按时以及安全的服药，如果跳过或延迟服药，可能会导致治疗没有那么有效，而且也是要为了避免错误和混乱。这个是特别是对服用多种药物的人而言尤其的重要。因为如果你第一次跳过或延迟药物会导致治疗无效，你们知道啦，因为要定期跟着你们的医生，他们讲几点要吃药，你们就要那个时间服药。如果没有好像按时吃的话，那就没有效。而且特别是那些有多种药物的人，如果他们把他们混乱起来他们不知道这粒药是要吃几粒，另外药要吃几粒，如果把他们乱起来了，结果你吃药没有效，而且有可能还会导致你身体有什么问题那个就比较重要了。Okay, so tip number 1. 所以我们先说提示1。So tip number 1 would be to make a checklist. This is actually very, very useful. I find this very useful as well, because you can include information such as, firstly, name of medication is very important, right? You need to double check like, which one is the medication. And dosage. Dosage is very important. Remember how I talked last week about how too little could cause like not effective in treatment, but too much can cause an overdose, which will affect your health. So dosage is also very important to write down. And what is the medication for? So like for example, this medication for me maybe this one is for my high cholesterol, I eat that medication, or this one is for my depression, so I know what's the purpose of the medication. And how to take the medication, like there's different ways of taking medication, right? Like swallowing pills, some is drink the medicine down, some is injection, so it's very important to write it down so it's very easy to refer when you need it. Okay, so I'm gonna continue on to the others first. And then when to take the medication, so like how many times a day, how many to take, also like that kind of thing lah. Then description of medication is basically how it looks like. For example, it's a yellow pill, it's a big yellow pill, or it's a tablet, like so you can recognize it. And then special instructions will be things like, remember the time I talked about how you may need to take it before food or after food, or neither, you can just take whenever. So instructions like this are very important to put down, or even things like how to store the medication, you can write it down also. And lastly, who prescribed the medication, because if you know this information, if you have any questions, you have any side effects, you can go back to the same person who gave you this, like who prescribed this medication, to like ask any questions, okay, and like update them if any issues arise. Okay, so these are some information you can put down in your medication checklist. 所以我们第一个提示就是要制作清单。药物的清单可能包含以下的信息，就是第一就是药物名称，这个很重要因为如果你需要 你忘记你的药物的名称，你可以你去看那个清单，你就立刻会记得了。还有药物剂量，记得我以前那时说药物剂量很重要，因为如果你服药太少，那个剂量太少的话，结果没有效。可是如果你服量太多的话，有可能你身体会有负面的影响。然后药物的作用是什么？就比如我吃这个是胆固醇的药咯，这个我害胆固醇我就吃这个，或者这个是给我的忧郁症吃的，那我写下来我就知道这个药的作用是什么，是为了好像让我心情比较好什么，或者这些啦。还有如何服用药物，我不是跟你们说过服用药物有很多种，有的是吞的有的是喝的呀，有的是打针所以这种东西你们可以写下来，所以自己会记得啦。如果要看，你就可以直接看回这个清单，你就知道怎么做了。然后呢，还有可能会写什么时候服用药物，就是比如有可能要讲3天一天要吃3次，这3次每次要吃2粒。如果这样很乱，对不对？所以写下来就写早上、中午、晚上这样，就每次服2粒，你这样写下来，你就可以看得很容易，很快就可以认别这些东西了咯。然后药物的描述就是药物的外观比如 Panadol 你的是白色的一个圆圈，你就写下来就比较容易认得嘛。还有特别说明，就是比如好像他们跟你讲要饭前服用，或者他们说要收在冰橱里面，这种东西就可以写下来，所以你要找的时候就比较容易咯。还有最后是谁开的药，哪个医生开的药，还是药房的人帮你开的药。如果你知道的话，如果你有什么问题，有什么事情要告诉他们的，你就可以去找那个人咯，就知道是谁帮你开的嘛，他们会记清楚。OK。So this is an example, like some examples of medication checklist is usually like, as you know, like checklist like you list down your name, like okay, let me just show you. Okay, so for example, this row is name of medication, then you write here, then strength of medication, you write here, description how it looks like, then you write here, that kind of thing. Okay, then who prescribed the medication, then you write here. There's different types like it's really to suit your needs. So if you want, you can do your own one. Like maybe you don't need to write special instructions, or maybe you don't need to write who prescribed because all your medication from the same doctor, so you know that kind of thing. Then you don't need to put in this. So it's really to find one that suits your needs. 所以药物清单的例子就这2个，我给你们看一下第一行是说他们的药物的名称就写下来这边，然后药物的剂量你写这边，药物的描述你写这边，好像这个是白色的圆圈这样。你们这种是要给自己找到适合的啦，所以你们可以自己做自己的，不一定要跟别人的一样。比如好像你不需要知道是谁帮你开的药，有可能你的医生一直以来都是一样的，所以你就记得，那你就不用写下来了。所以这种东西你们自己可以看着办你们觉得哪个是最适合您的，你们就可以自己创造一个清单 ，OK？ Tip number 2， 我们现在讲提示2。Use a pill organizer. Pill organizers come in different shapes or sizes, okay? So if you don't know, there's like types with like multi-compartments. Some are like small, some are like big. And then there's like weekly or monthly pill organizers. Some is like every week you need to top up again. Then some is monthly, so it's like a lot. Like you do once a month only. And then some is like got frequency per day. Maybe one is only like once per day, so it's just one compartment. But then some is like you need to eat 3 times a day, so there's like 3 compartments for one day. Like Monday they have 3, okay? So basically what I'm saying again is the same thing. You need to find one that suits your needs, okay? Like based on like what kind of medication you take. 所以我们第2个提示是要说你们应该要使用药物整理箱，因为这样一来比较容易记嘛。而且它们有不同的尺寸和类型，你们应该寻找一个适合您要求的。有些有很多个隔间，如果你们需要的话，你们可以写，有的大有的小，有的是每周或每月你们才需要填补那个药物整理箱。then 有的是因为你每天服药的频率有些人一天要服药3次，他们就有拜1就有3个，拜2有3个，拜3有3个，是真的是靠你们 现在看你们的需要到哪里啦，那你们去找一个比较合适的。Okay, so this one is the very common one, a standard weekly pill organizer. I actually have this. I actually use this cause like, I actually have like, cause sometimes I eat medication like morning and dinner, right? I actually use two of these. One is for night, one is for morning. But you can actually use like those that like later you'll see lah. Okay, so these are very common standard weekly pill organizer. 所以这个是一个周刊药丸主机箱，就是好像那个他们有拜一到礼拜啦，你就放你的药在里面。我其实有这种也是，我有两盒，一个是早上的，一个是晚上的。或者你可以看我们下一页，他们有两个合起来的。Okay, so this is the one I was talking about. Like if you know that you have AM and PM pills, like in the morning you take, PM you also need to take. Then you can have this kind like they put together one, and they even write like they got label AM or PM, so you know when to like eat it lah. So this is also a weekly pill organizer. 所以刚才我说的就是我有两个那个周刊的，可是我不是这两个一起粘的啦。可是如果你要的话，粘起来也是蛮好，因为他们有那边上面有写是上午还是下午的，所以这样一来你们会比较清楚，比较容易记啦。And then this one is a bit more high tech. It's an automatic pill dispenser, but it's for monthly, so you can see right, like it's a full month. And the amazing thing about this is they know when to like you can set the timing, so they will like automatically dispense at the time. So like they'll come out like then they open up, then you know it's time for medication lah. Then it's very cool because there's morning, noon, evening, bed, and then it's like I think you cannot see the full month lah, but actually it's a monthly one because the bottom I think also have lah. This is just the top view, yeah. So like every day you have like different timings for you to see 咯。所以这个是自动药丸分配器，这个是每月的，因为你不可以看到它的下面啦，因为这个是上面看下来啦，可是它下面有很多层的。那他们真的这个比较高科技啦，它是有点自动的，就是到时间了他们会自动分配那个药给你，就是它会开出来给你吃药，有早上啊、中午啊、下午啊，还有晚上睡觉前的。这样一来你就很容易不会忘记嘛，因为它自己会提醒你。可是你要自己设备啦，OK, tip 3, 我们现在讲提示3。Tip 3 will be to set a schedule. Because it's easier to remember to take a medication if you always take them at the same time at the same place. So for example, if you take medicine every day, right after you wake up, then you remember, right? Like if you keep taking it at the same time, then you confirm it's a routine already ma. And then you insert it into your regular routine. So you can put it like you bring it to join, like insert it into like a regular routine so that you can remember to do it while you're doing something else. For example for me, right, every time I finish like packing my bag, I'll go eat my medicine, that like my night medication. So like I established that this is associated, eating medication is associated with after packing my bag. So this is something you can put in, or like if not, another example would be take a medication right after eating breakfast. So remember every time you eat breakfast already, or you're gonna eat medicine, or when you brush teeth, or that means I need to eat night medicine. Yeah. 所以第二个提示是要设计时间表。如果你经常同一时间或同一个地方服用药物的话，那就会比较容易记得服药，对不对？就是比如对我来说啦，因为我每次都是晚上，我整理好我的书包后，我就会吃我的晚上的药，因为这样一来我就每次一装好我的书包的话，我就会记得哦，我每次装好书包就是要吃药，我这样一来就比较容易记。就是要将服药这件事插入到您的定期例行，就是比如好像你就是对我来说就是我整理书包就吃药嘛，或者你也可以好像你一吃早餐后你就记得 OK 我就要服药了，或者你每天刷牙时你就吃药，那你这样一来你就不会忘记了。Okay, and also you should set a regular date for filling up your pill organizer. So for example, if you have a weekly organizer, maybe you can do it every Sunday. Like after finishing it, you'll do it every Sunday and a new one. And at the same time, okay, every Sunday, 10 p.m. after I finish all my medication for the week, I will go and like refill it. Okay? Or if not, if you have a monthly one, then maybe every end of the month at one certain timing, you circle the date, you will go and do it so you won't forget. 所以如果你有用那个药物管理箱的话，你应该设定一个定期的日子来补填你的管理箱。就是比如如果是每周的话啦，你的药物管理箱是每周的那种，那你就可以好像礼拜我10点后，因为我吃完整期的药了，那我就每次放10点礼拜10点我就会去填补我的药物管理箱。如果是每周的话，有可能就是月底最后一天你把药物都吃完了，那你就可以放一个同一天，每个一样的时间，这样呢就不会忘记填补你的药物管理箱。And last but not least, we have tip 4. 最后呢，我们有提示4。Okay, tip 4 is actually a very easy thing to do, but sometimes people they don't actually do this, and that's why they might find it confusing or they forget to eat their medicine. Always choose an obvious visible location to keep you from forgetting to take your medication, such as your nightstand. So the thing is, right, if you put it in like a container somewhere, like you hid in the kitchen, then you won't remember what you're not gonna look at it, right? But if you put it somewhere you always see. For example, you put in your kitchen table. Every day you eat, then I need to eat my medicine. So put it somewhere visible and put it at a specific location. Don't like sometimes you put here, sometimes you put there, then you confirm forget one. Always put at the same location, okay? So and if you have multiple medication, put it at the same place. Don't like your Panadol you put here, then your gastric medicine you put somewhere else, then your high cholesterol medication you put somewhere else, then it's very confusing. You put everything here, you always know where to look for it. 所以虽然最后的提示是叫你们要将药丸或药物放在一个设定的地方，比如你们应该要选择一个比较明显和可见的位置，以避免您忘记吃药，不是以免可以。例如是床头柜啦，就是或者你们，因为如果你放好像在一个角落一个柜子里面，你看不到，你就不会记得嘛。如果你放在你的床头柜，你睡觉后。起来前你看，起来的时候你看得到，你就记得要吃，或者你放在你的厨房啊，你厨房的桌子，你每次吃晚餐啊，你就我看到我就记得要吃药，对不对？然后你要把药物存放在同一个地方，你不要一个好像胆固醇的药放这边，then Panadol 放另外一边，这样一来不是很乱哦，那你就找不到啊，你每个把它们放在一起，你就会记得，你每次要找药就去一样的地方找 ，OK？ So as usual, here are the references. If you all have any, like if you are even more interested to find more tips on how to organize your medication, 这些是参考资料。如果你们想知道更多的提示的话，你们可以去上网看啊。So if you all have any questions, ask me, OK? 如果有什么问题可以问我。OK, now thank you everybody. Goodbye. 谢谢大家，再见。